Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Triangle Blue Velvet, Season 1, Episode 10, and the name of this episode is Memory Lane. This was a really good episode, and I was really locked in, with what transpired between Brandon and August. And I can honestly say that, yeah, this series is really good, and we're starting to even get more of a clear picture of where Brandon and Jabril stand in their relationship. Because we actually see that, there's been a lot of progress in their relationship, but is it enough progress to sustain their marriage? That is yet to be seen, but that's why we have to keep watching. But let me begin. So the episode opens up, and mainly what we focus in this episode is Brandon and August finally bonding as brothers. So we see that Brandon, from the last episode of Triangle Blue Velvet, we know that Brandon had went to D.C. Well, he went to D.C. and he brought back August with him because their sister Brittany is busy with nursing school, and he was literally there by himself. So he pretty much brought August back with him, so he'll have somebody that he can bond with and talk to. And we also know that from the last episode, Jabril, went to Jarrell's aid after it got word that he had a cardiac arrest. So Jabril's gone, and now Brandon's back in Easton with August, but Jabril is still out of town. So they pretty much sit down and they talk, and next thing you know, they started having drinks, and they kind of open up with each other. Like, pretty much Brandon opens up about him, getting back into church, and August even admits, church is not my thing, and he says, yeah, it's the same thing with Jabril. But he's saying that what got you in the church, because I know Dad, he really's not in the church either. But Brandon says we also know that Brandon was very close with his mom, so he says his mother was very into church, and that's where he began to develop his love for the church. But then after him being gay, he kind of shunned away from it. And that was funny because that actually spoke to me, because I'm still battling with that myself. So that was something that even opened my eyes to it, that a lot of us, because of who we are, and if we grow up in these black churches, homosexuality is literally looked at as the plague upon mankind, as far as some of these churches, and people treat you differently, and they don't see you as the individual. So, in a lot of cases, a lot of us kind of run from the church because of that. But, Brandon has, made his resolution that after all he's been through, that he needed God back in his life, and he's applied that. And due to the fact that he has decided to take this journey to get back into church, and knowing where Jabril stands with the church, well, that caused, friction within their relationship. Only time will tell. But then we also noticed in this episode we got a lot of playbacks, and I was so here for it. Like, we really got playbacks on Brandon and Jabril's relationship, because pretty much what happens is that Brandon and August pretty much have a conversation. They start drinking, and Brandon opens up about him and Jabril's relationship and how much of a roller coaster it has been. Oh. Okay. So we definitely, get, some of the playbacks, when Brandon, and Jabril, when he's like talking about divorcing, and Brandon gives him that ultimatum that either you work on our marriage, or I'm going to go to the police and tell everything you told me about, the things he did with Adonis, what he did with Rob, pretty much when You know, because we all know how Jabril is. Jabril is that person that he's a good guy, but once you provoke him, he'll be the devil. So he literally, we definitely remember back in Triangle Season 3 where he revealed all of the treacherous things he did. And then we pretty much see that, you know, Brandon, now that he's gone through rehab, he's trying to make things right. But he said that, you know, a divorce is definitely not a decision that he's going to accept, because he feels that we need to fight for our marriage and we need to get to the resolution as to where we're going to move forward. So definitely, we even got the playback as when he cheated, when he discovered that for a year Jabril was cheating on him with Garrick. We also get the playback when he cheated on Jabril with Rob. You know, we got all of that. Yo, yeah, shout out to Thomas Mackey. It was good to see him, you know, because Rob was definitely that character. And definitely, we also saw that, you know, after Brandon and Jabril got married, when he finally opened up about him cheating on him with Rob. And, you know, we definitely knew how Jabril took that, because Jabril had found out way before, and he was waiting for Brandon to tell him the truth, and he wasn't going to. And he was just saying that you just wouldn't come clean. But we saw the wedding episode when, you know, Kiko ran to Brandon and was like, Jabril knows. And that's when he pretty much, you know, opened up about how much he really loved Jabril, and that, yeah, him sleeping with Rob was a mistake. And then he also talks about his whole situation with Alex, and how he got, after his mother died, and he got into drugs, and, you know, he was made to believe that he cheated on Alex because Alex, you know, Alex blackmailed him. You know, he was high, and due to the fact that he was high, he woke up in the bed, you know, naked next to Alex. And of course, Alex played that up that they had sex. We definitely saw that in season 3. And they also played back when Jabril had that reaction, you know, when Brandon was, you know, went on that tirade, and he went off on Jarrell and Kiko, but then pretty much opened up the fact that he actually was having, that he supposedly had sex with Alex. And we saw when Jabril got so mad that he damn near choked his ass out. So he pretty much reveals all of this to August, and August is just like, whoa, you know, I mean, he even had to admit that, look, out of respect, if this is love, I don't want it, because it seemed to me you guys had a lot of drama in your relationship, but yet, that's the thing is, love can be a roller coaster. Love can be great at one moment, and then it can be bad at another moment. But it's your love and dedication to that person. Are you willing to go through the ups and downs and the trials and the tribulations in which your love will go? So we definitely saw this in this episode, where we literally were reliving Brandon and Jabril's relationship, and the question still is there: will they survive? Will they make it? So we saw that, you know, in this situation, you know, Brandon reveals everything to August, and he asks August, okay, I told you about me, won't you tell me something about you? And of course he's like, well, you know, I'm kind of private. And we kind of get that sometimes with people, that we'll reveal everything to them, but then they want to be kind of modest when it comes to them revealing their truth. And Brandon wasn't having it. Brandon was like, well, I just opened up about a whole bunch of private shit. You better tell me something. So he actually opens up and says that me and you are more in common than you realize. And he actually tells Brandon that he's gay. And this is kind of a shocker. But then again, you know, they're still getting to know each other. But then even from my watching, I'm like, oh, this is interesting. So August is gay, but and on top of it, August is a virgin, because he says that he's always had these feelings for men, but he would fake it with women, but never actually had sex. So we come to find out that he's a virgin and he's gay. So of course, Brandon being the older brother, he definitely sees that I got to protect my brother. And then he also reveals that he got kicked out of school. And the reason why he got kicked out of school is because he didn't fulfill the requirements of his scholarship. He had to keep a high GPA and his grades slipped, and because of that, he lost his scholarship, and that's why he's no longer in school. But the trick of the matter is, the only people that know about him not being in school was Uncle Benny, and now he just revealed that to Brandon. But honestly, I think the only person he told about him being gay was Brandon, because his parents don't know about it, and I don't even know if Uncle Benny knows about August's sexuality. But he definitely knew about August dropping out. But he pretty much says that, but he tells Brandon, don't tell Dad, let me do it. And he says that, look, I'll let you do it on your own terms, but you need to hurry up and fix this. So then we see finally Jabril comes back, and they go out to dinner, and then later on that evening, Brandon and Jabril have a conversation. And while they're having this conversation, he actually tells him that, yeah, you know, I was actually surprised that August told me he was gay. And Jabril was like, I wasn't surprised. And he was like, how the hell did you know? He's like, Gator, it was going off. And he's like, well, why didn't you say anything to me? He's like, well, at the end of the day, you know, that's for him to tell. But I picked up on it that he was gay. So I was like, that's interesting. But then again, we're still getting to know August, so we're still gonna probably in time see where August's state of mind is at, and what is his ultimate goal and what is his ultimate aim. You know, because the jury's still out on August. We're still getting to know him, so we can't say we fully trust him altogether, but we kind of get a little bit insight on who August is, but then also how he's, you know, battling with all of these secrets. You know, one about his sexuality, and also the truth of how he got kicked out of school and how nobody knows. So we definitely know August, you know, is very top secret, which is why he needs to be watched. So they talk about that, and then we also see that Brandon and Jabril talks about they talk about their relationship and see where it's going. And Jabril is honest. He says that, yeah, things are getting better between us, but as of right now, we still have a lot more work to do. You know, because we definitely see that there's still some differences there. And there's still differences of outlook as far as their spiritual aspect, as far as their relationship aspects. There's still some division there, and they need to, and Jabril was just honest that, look, we're in a very good place. We're working on this, but the question is it enough to save our marriage? And that is yet to be determined. So we definitely see that go on, but I have to say, I got my life with all the playbacks because it really took me back, you know, to like season 1 and season 2 of Triangle, and where we first developed our love for Brandon and Jabril. But then we also saw the craziness of what their relationship has sprung. Him cheating on Brandon with Derek. Brandon cheating on Jabril with Rob. You know, even though they were supposedly on the break, he never intended on breaking up with Jabril. It was just like, okay, after all was revealed about little JJ, it was just too much for him. It was just too much for him at the time. But it should not have been a license for him to sleep with Rob. You know. And the thing about it, he knew that, you know, Rob was in love with him. So it was just a lot was being shown, a lot was displayed, and it really kind of got us to really see that, yeah, these two have been through a lot. And even though their relationship is going great now, is it enough for them to stay in the marriage? Because he said the reason why he rejected the divorce was because Jabril felt bad about everything that transpired, and he felt that he ruined Brandon, and that he didn't see all of these things coming, and he wanted the divorce because he wanted to free Brandon. But Brandon was like, no, we've made a marriage, we're going to fight for this and see do we still have a chance. And it's obvious they both have a genuine love for one another. But is it enough to sustain their marriage? And that is something that we have to keep watching to see. So that's what I have, everybody. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments, or if you have any opinions or thoughts about this episode, please share them. I love to hear from you. But subscribe to brtbtv.com today. There's a lot of great things that are about to happen. As a matter of fact, we're about to get Davenport Diaries, I think it's called the Scarlet Diaries or the Scarlet, so that is going to be really good, and I am so looking forward to that. So there's a lot of great, and we also have the Uglies that's about to appear, on brtvtv.com as well. So we got some new shows coming out as well as BRTV TV is definitely one of the best vehicles, where you can find some great, stories, that really showcase, the LGBTQ community. Also, check out the Triangle Fan Club on Facebook. You get everything BRTV TV, as well as interactions from the cast and crew, as well as updates from the creator, Caesar Williams. So, brtvtv.com, as well as the Triangle Fan Club. Also, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell to get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social platforms. I have them all listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the next episode of Triangle Blue Velvet. I have to say, man, I am really loving this show because more is being built, and it's just literally kept me at the edge of my seat like, oh my God, I can't wait to see what happens next. So until next time, everybody, take care.